If you want to convert your own camper van, we're going to explain how we are converting ours and how to change the title and convert the title. So we just got a package as we were here. And let's see if I can do this without scissors. I think I'm gonna need scissors. Let's see if this works. Okay. Man. Woo. Gosh, so much tape on this. Okay, so let me show you. There's the seat. Oh, the box is broken in a lot of places, but at least I got it open. Okay. Oh dear. The sun's in my eyes.
Good.
Let me back up. So yeah. How did we decide to do this?
It's an interesting story. We were at dinner one night, you know, as you do, and I was thinking about this whole van life thing that I've been seeing online for 6 months to a year, and I just brought it up. I was like, we
weren't at dinner. We were on the couch in our apartment.
We were having dinner.
No. I asked him what your biggest dream is. And he mentioned, oh, you know, like the van life that we've seen on YouTube would be pretty cool. But you said something like, I don't know, like it was just not reasonable or something like. And so I look at him and I'm like, well, why not? Oh, there was a bee?
There was a bee. It went meow. Yeah, so that's how we did it. She said, why not? And I was like, okay. Fast forward a couple months, we've been looking for a while, probably 2 months, off and on, to seeing what's out there.
Well, so here's the thing. We didn't even start looking until, what, like, I guess late December, because we knew that we wouldn't get it until January. So we were looking around on Facebook Marketplace, and I had found, you know, just a couple here and there, and an RV that was really nice, but it was a little out of budget, like a little higher than we wanted to pay. But then you found Bluebell.
This one. And
it was, I think we were going to see all the vehicles on Sunday, and I think he found her Bluebell on Friday.
And we loved it. There were other people looking at it, so we're like, all right, we probably won't get it, but we'll keep it open, you know, if it opens back up. And the guy said, hey, it hasn't sold. So we kind of took a chance, assuming this was the one we were just gonna fall in love with, canceled our other meeting to come look at this one. And it was in great shape, ran well. The guy took pretty good care of it. A lot of the components were new, so we're like, oh, let's do it. So we gave someone one of the most expensive purchases we made for a physical item.
One of them, yeah.
And we drove it here to my mom's up in Oklahoma.
And now we have a bus!
So the first thing is, as we've said, we've got to gut it, right? You got to get it down to the bare surfaces. This was a school bus. Kids are messy. These floors are rotting everywhere. So we get it down to that base metal, grind, patch, all the fun stuff. So after that, this is going to be a home. So this is going to, where we're sitting now is actually going to be where the bed is, and this door is going to open. We're going to have a battery bank to yay, water system to yay. Solar panels would be on the roof, so in theory we could just live out in the wilderness, and as long as we've got our 55 gallons of water and all our solar, this is going to be an off-grid system, so we don't have to constantly go back except for food.
So we are not having a built-in bathroom. We're having a compost toilet.
Yep, composting toilet.
Is the plan for now, and a solar shower. It's like in a, I guess, really thermal savvy bag where the water gets heated up, and then basically it's just like a little tent that you pop up and you take your shower.
Yeah, it's pretty much like the idea is like if you were to hang a Ziploc bag in a tree long enough that the water got hot and then you dumped it on yourself.
The other thing we're gonna do for like showers and stuff is you can get really cheap memberships for gyms to get access to their showers.
Probably like a Planet Fitness or an Anytime Fitness or
one of those.
So we're gonna have a composting toilet, which if you're not familiar with what those do, is when you do your number 2s, it goes into a box. And in said box, you put, in our case, we're gonna use coconut husk, you could use peat moss, you could use sawdust, it really is up to you and your own preference. The cool thing is, for one, you don't have to flush, so you don't have to carry a bunch of runny poo with you.
Ugh.
But the other cool thing is it's compost, so you stir all that stuff up, it dries out the waste, and it makes it to where you can throw it away, and wherever it goes, it's compost. So it can actually be used to grow stuff. In theory, you could throw it in a garden and flowers would pop out of it, right? The reason why that works is when you're using the toilet as a composting, you have a liquids container. So you have solids, liquids. And your liquids go into effectively a fancy milk jar. And you take that, you can dump it into any toilet. In theory, you could treat it and just dump it in nature as long as you're not near water. We're gonna cook on an electric stove. A lot of people do propane. We chose electric. For one, we can power it with our roof, so we don't have to go and get propane. And two, even though propane's pretty safe, it's actually safer to run it on electric because you don't have a combustible system inside your vehicle. So we're gonna have a small sink hooked up to this over here, this water tank, and a very simple pumping system. Only cold water, no hot.
I don't get my spa experience.
You do not. We have a fan on the roof. It just helps push any smoke, any fumes, smells. Also it creates a nice kind of draft, right? You can open this door, you can open the windows, and it just creates a nice upward flow of air. We're actually going to mount a seat right in that middle spot out of probably an old truck, something like that. Air ride maybe, if we can make that work. That's what that box down there is for. And so we'll have 2 seats, each one with its own seat belt for safety. And yeah, that's about it.
So it was really hard to figure out what exactly we needed to transfer the title, because I guess you did some research and then I did research, and like we were told kind of different things, and so it kept saying that we needed a 130U form, and on the 130U it said that we needed the previous owner's signature. But then the previous owner was like, no, you don't need a 130, like just go to the DMV and whatever, the tax office. And so then I look into the tax office, like the specific website, and in a very small print, it said that the 130U form was needed, but that you didn't need the previous owner's signature. And so you're like, okay, so I go to the tax office, I have the title, the current title. You have to bring your driver's license. You have to have the 130U form filled out, but you don't have to have the previous owner's signature, because we had the title and we had the bill of sale as well. And I think that was all I brought, and the lady was happy and she didn't ask for anything else, and so it's probably gonna come in a week.
If you want to make one of these in RV, you still have to get insurance, which, to be honest, your best bet is just contact the insurance agent. They have to make you a special policy, but this is titled as a school bus, right? Like, well, it is a school bus. So what you have to do is you have to transfer this to an RV, which is a change of title. The process is actually pretty complicated. But the first thing you do is you take one of these and you put your living essentials, your toilet, your water, your bed, electric, etc. Those have to be in or they will not change the title to what you need. Then you have to go to an inspector. An inspector, they're just gonna look Now, they're not gonna like crawl under and like really nitpick, right? Their job is to make sure you're not lying.
Because we just applied for title transfer only. We didn't do title and registration. So that's why we didn't need the insurance, and you don't need an inspection. But if you do want the title and registration, you have to have insurance and an inspection.
You bring it to an inspector, and what they're going to do is make sure all of your living essentials are in, and they're going to give you a report that says we agree with what you're saying. This is a habitable thing. It looks like a school bus. You have to get a modification form. It's similar to the salvage form. You're just going to have to Google that one for your own state. But the form is just going to give you a space to write, what'd you do? And you're gonna go to your DMV with all your forms, right? So you're gonna go with your title. You're gonna go with that report from the inspector. You might have to get a police report saying it's not stolen. You gotta go with that modification form.
Excuse the dogs if you can hear them.
It's you do all that stuff, and then if you did everything right and you give all the amount of money you need to, because everything seems to always cost money, they will give you a change title. Once they do that, you're ready to go.
Woo!